Hi, my name is Josue Batista. I am a business and technology strategist. Welcome to this segment of What and Why First. In this segment, I will take you through a side-by-side comparison of three distributed ledger technologies, or DLTs, that implement blockchain. That is Ethereum, Hyperledger, and R3 Corda. I assure you that sooner than you might expect, blockchain will be a strategic topic in your organization. This comparison will help you and your team to have more productive discussions when deciding which technology best meets your business use cases for blockchain. So the first area to compare is the operating platform. Ethereum has a generic platform for all kinds of transactions and applications. Hyperledger is not really a blockchain, but a modular, extendable architecture. The R3 Corda's platform is at the other end of the spectrum. It provides a highly specialized DLT for industries that are highly regulated, like finance and insurance. Let's compare governance. In Ethereum, developers dictate the rules of the application protocol. In the case of Hyperledger, it is the Linux Foundation, the entity that governs the platform. R3 Corda has a single entity providing governance, R3. Let's compare smart contracts. The good news here is that all these DLTs allow the implementation of smart contracts, or dApps. Now, Corda has a special type of contract called a smart legal contract, which is legally binding. When comparing cryptocurrencies, Ethereum has a cryptocurrency called Ether. Its smart contracts run on Ether, and Ethereum miners are paid with Ether. Now, there is no cryptocurrencies per se in Hyperledger or R3 Corda, although some currency could be created as tokens in Hyperledger. When comparing privacy and scalability, there is basically no privacy within Ethereum. All ledger transactions are open to all participants to see and validate. Hyperledger and R3 Corda offer higher levels of performance, scalability, and privacy. That is because all transactions are encrypted until they reach their intended destination. Hyperledger also offers a fine-grained access control. And R3 Corda does the same, but it has the concept of an appointed notary. This notary mediates between private parties to ensure that transactions are valid, that participants have the appropriate credentials, and that they have rights to perform transactions with the specific assets and between the specific parties. When it comes to participation, DLTs have two modes of participation: permissionless and permissioned. Permissionless means that anybody is allowed to participate in the network. Permissioned, on the other hand, participants are pre-selected and access to the network is restricted. That mode of participation, permissionless or permissioned, has a profound impact on how consensus is reached and the level of privacy. Again, on one hand, we have Ethereum, a public blockchain with permissionless mode of operation. All participants have to reach consensus over all transactions that have taken place, regardless of whether a participant has taken part in a particular transaction or not. That leads to scalability and privacy issues, because consensus must be reached at the ledger level. Now, Hyperledger and Corda operate using the permissioned model. And that brings us to the comparison of consensus. Hyperledger uses a more flexible set of algorithms to reach consensus. Transactions and message flows through private channels from and to participants on a need-to-know basis. R3 Corda implements a similar algorithm by using appointed notaries. Transactions are restricted to involved parties only. Now, in both Hyperledger and R3 Corda, consensus must be reached at the transaction level only, not at the ledger level like Ethereum does. So in summary, each one of these DLTs offers a continuum of specialized features to meet any conceivable use case. Ethereum, permissionless participation, transparency, smart contracts, and the crypto ether makes it the choice for literally any kind of application where privacy is not a requirement. If you want privacy, performance, scalability, and modularity, then you must seriously consider Hyperledger. If you are operating in a highly regulated space like finance or insurance, then it makes more sense to consider Corda with its smart legal contracts. Well, I hope all of this makes sense to you. Your questions and comments are gold to me. So until next time, cheers!